Oh, Adam.
And action!
Action. Adam, before we get going here, I got something to clear up.
Is there a big
I got
reveal?
a couple of things to clear up.
Okay.
You dropped a little snippet in, and I mustn't have been listening quite so clearly.
Okay.
But you intimated that you had worked on Castle Court. And I got to wondering, what other monoliths of Belfast architecture have you worked on? Nuala with the hula?
Yeah, no.
The Westicles?
There was a porn shop that we turned into a tailor business. Somewhere down there.
On
right
Gresham
by,
Street?
Yeah, somewhere right by Castle Court.
Yeah, Gresham Street would be one.
Might be.
Private Lines used to be down there.
That sounds very familiar.
Private Lines.
I won't get into how you know about that.
I can tell you a lot of stories about it because a good friend of mine owned it.
For real?
Okay. And it was an adult shop.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Actually, my good friend turned it into a vitamin shop.
That wouldn't be this then, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
It was.
Okay. Well, I mean, the one I worked on was not a vitamin shop.
There was a portion. Apparently, the rules are that only a certain portion could be of adult material.
Sure.
And before he bought it, it used to be a bookshop. So it had all these used books.
So we already had all the shelves and everything.
All these used books, except for one portion of the wall was adult. But all these used books, no one went in there to buy used books.
No one was looking for the copy of Ulysses.
So when my friend bought it over, he basically got, we might as well make it useful.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I have other stuff on the shelves that people would want to buy. And so he
vitamins.
I don't know. He gentrified it a little bit.
It's
nice
say. To have, clean filth.
Now here's the interesting thing that you may not know about the shop that you worked on. Is way back in the day, it was the only one in Ireland.
I couldn't have been that many of them.
That was serving the country, the entire country.
Right.
And so the markup was vicious.
And it was just busy as all hell.
The markup was vicious, and the online, there wouldn't be online sales, but the catalog sales,
brown bag out the back,
were really, really high. Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting. I have a vivid memory of... It's a Freudian slip if ever there was one. I have a vivid memory of levering this lurid mannequin out of second story window to throw it into the skip below in the alley. All these neon painted fixtures, shelving units and stuff.
An interesting place.
To be sure.
And I didn't spend that much time in there, Mom, I have to tell you. But I did visit it because I had friends that were there in the music industry.
There you go.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that. I was going, what else did he work on?
Nothing too interesting. Bunch of residential stuff.
Interesting times.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was a lot of construction going on, a lot of boom.
There's a lot of money coming in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of money coming in. Actually, one of the big catering jobs that I did, I got signed up to do, they held at St. George's Market, which is now a fabulous place to go visit at the weekends, because it's filled with good craft stuff as well as fresh fish and fresh meat and fresh vegetables and things, as well as people making really good treats, desserts and food and what have you. Wasn't really anything, because the markets had been really big and then sort of died off a little bit, but they were in the process of trying to turn it into something spectacular that would host events and live music and what have you, which it has done plenty of now. They got a lot of investors in from all over Europe.
Okay.
And about 700 people, actually. Really big investors, and a lot of the politicians and people already in Belfast that were obviously looking to basically develop it. and I was part of the catering team. It was like a massive catering team.
All right.
Boy, trying to feed 700 people their dinner all at the one time.
I can't even imagine that.
That's a military
I mean, we just
level.
went through Thanksgiving here, and feeding 7 was enough. 8 people.
Feeding, getting the
700.
getting the chicken and the potatoes to come out at the same time was a feat.
Yeah, hats off to catering professionals. That's no easy.
So yeah,
thing.
that was around that same time, just when the money was really starting to pour back into Belfast, which was lovely to see.
Is that when the Odyssey Center and all that stuff was?
The
being built?
Odyssey was rolling then too. I'm just going to check something real quick. Yeah, gotcha. All of that was being built. All of that stuff was being built. All coming together. It's good. It was good. It was good times.
Good time to be alive.
The other thing happened, just because we talked about it last week, you'd happened to mention Spancel Hill was one of those songs that in the early times of Wild Colonial Boys, you made sure that you knew all of the sort of a lot of those popular and let's call them basic tracks, the kind of things people were wanting to hear.
The songbook.
And I had stated, wrongly as it now turns out, I had stated that I have never had anyone come up to me and say, hey, can you play, name the song of your choice? And I would go, yes, I will. And just go ahead and play it.
Okay.
But I was playing, the night before Thanksgiving, I was playing a little brewery with my good friend, Ted Hanashewitz. And we were taking a set each. And he had said then we can maybe do something together, but we hadn't planned it. But as I was playing my set, somebody from the back said, play Bob Marley.
Okay.
And I decided I would.
What the heck?
And I played Three Little Birds.
Nice.
I just pulled it right out of the bag, and I was really pleased with myself. Though she came up with some money to drop it in the tip jar, saying, "You played my song," and I said, "It's the first time I've ever done it."
Yeah, so make it a good tip.
And make sure that it's a good tip. But what was funny was, and the reason I bring it up is because this song sort of fits that bill, is that Ted and we didn't know what we were going to play together at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And he said, just call something out, and I'll call something out, and we'll see what happens. Honestly, no, it was songs kind of like this one that we're going to play for you shortly that are pretty straightforward in a lot of ways, and easy to play. We played All Along the Watchtower. We played Breakdown by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Okay. And actually, up until I played it on last Wednesday night, I didn't realize how easy it was.
There you go.
And it got me realizing that any band, whether you're an original band or a cover band, I mean, having those kinds of tunes in your back pocket, we had a great set.
It's awesome if you can do that. Here's a question for you: do you get hung up? My when that happens to me, or back up to piggyback onto the conversation we had last week about not having those songs in your pocket, as you say. Sure. Lyrically, it's the toughest thing for me, anyway. Yes. Do you find that to be the same? I mean, I can figure out a tune and a chord progression as it's happening and know where it's going to go, not a problem. But, I don't know what the second verse is.
So that really isn't a problem anymore with, because they've got this thing now they call the internet.
So you're on stage with an iPad.
So I've got an iPad usually there with me because I'll tell you what, man. There's even songs of my own that sometimes I forget the words to.
Oh, I know. Mine, yeah. I never remember my lyrics. I was joking, say it's because they're not very memorable. Which is not really a joke.
So that's one of the reasons I have the iPad there, is because it allows us to pull something out of the bag. It's
key. Without that, I'd be dead in the water. It's one thing to do the chords to Three Little Birds, but
I didn't know the words. I actually probably would have been fine on with that song.
I feel like we should try
the chords.
It right now.
Okay. The chords I was struggling with. So I actually made them up, but it all sounded fine. Mm-hmm. It sounded fine. I really got it.
Do you have charts for stuff, or are you literally just going online and going give me the lyrics
for that particular one? I just pulled it up with the chords. Yeah, and then was able to kind of hammer it out. I was pleased with myself. I was more pleased that the audience was there. They were just there for some quiet sort of family time because tomorrow was
it's Thanksgiving.
Because tomorrow was going to be Thanksgiving to them, and they just wanted to go somewhere where there was just some decent music. And
that's one of the top 3 biggest bar nights of the year.
We
now
it was well filled. The brewery was well filled. We just had a really good time hanging out together. We hung out with David Dennison from the Reader Homestead concerts out in Delano, and a few other folks showed up, and it was just gentle. It was just gentle.
It's right up your alley.
I like gentle. The older I get.
The older I get, more I want to stay home and not be out on Wednesday night before Thanksgiving.
I don't know how we had our Rocket Soul Choir had our last show of the year on the 30th of September, and I think I've played 5 shows and I've got another 3 coming.
Well, there you go. No time for them, I guess.
So that's just the way it goes. So what about you? What's been going on?
Well, Thanksgiving, like I said, that was busy all weekend.
Family stuff,
yes. And it was nice to see everybody, and I love turkey dinner and I love Thanksgiving. It's a fun holiday. I like it that it's really just about sitting around and eating food, and I love that. So that's fun.
Bit of crack,
before it gets crazy for the Christmas.
Bit of your Sunday dinner on a Thursday.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. So that was good, and I think the week before we had a gig in town. I think we have another one of those coming up.
Oh, Jameson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to get out. I'll have to get out and see it. Seeing as I'm not supposed to have any gigs for the rest of the year. Right. I should get out and see other people
You're too
play.
busy playing gigs to have gigs.
Ah, boy.
Nice problem to have.
This week, we decided to play you For What It's Worth by the Buffalo Springfield.
For what it's worth, we're going to give it a shot.
For what it's worth, we're going to give it a shot. A real classic, because it was a real classic time in music and American culture.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the turning point.
And this song encompassed many things, even though it wasn't about many things, but it just kind of grabbed people. And that's a great thing about a song, is no matter what era you are, or years later, you've got some other problem that you're going through, and a song just really resonates.
For sure.
It's good. With Buffalo Springfield, I always knew this song, but it wasn't until, and I'm going to say it was a little weird, it wasn't until I saw Monterey Pop when I was a lot older, when I saw like the whole concert of Monterey Pop, that I caught this song.
Okay.
And they hammered through it. They were rocking.
Sure.
They ramped up the speed to it.
Okay.
Did you see it?
I've seen Monterey Pop Festival, but I can't tell you note for note what happened. The Jimi Hendrix thing was the big standout for me, obviously.
That whole concert was just it was very well conceived.
It was
that was where I first saw Janis Joplin on there too. I didn't fully understand what this hysterical woman was doing, but appreciate it for what it is now. At the time, it was kind of like, whoa,
right,
craziness.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of stuff that happened then that signaled the beginning of the era, and that was the real change in modern American history, right? And that from 66, 67, right in there, a lot of things got drastically different.
Yeah.
Even a couple of years prior to that, and the songs stand the test of time, and people still listen. I mean, you just mentioned playing All Along the Watchtower, another one from that era.
Yeah.
And songs like this transcend eras, describe different eras. A kid my age growing up in America, I know this song because it was used prominently in the Wonder Years that came out when I was a kid, and obviously was about this, the late 60s, mid to late 60s, 70s. And there's no better song to sort of harken back to that era than this one,
Gosh, I remember the Wonder. We did get the Wonder Years.
Did you?
We did. It was it's a gentle story time program.
Who didn't like little Wayne Arnold? And then the urban legend that it was Paul Pfeiffer, the nerdy friend.
That's right.
Who was Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
That's not true, but that's what everyone said.
You know, it should be true.
Right?
And a different...
It just fits.
And a different timeline that's a true...
In my mind.
A parallel universe. That is exactly what happens.
Right.
Yeah, that whole... So Buffalo Springfield. Stephen Stills wrote this after the curfew riots in L.A.
Yeah.
Local residents were just getting a little bit miffed that the nightclubs and all these rock and rollers, this strange, obnoxious rock and roll music, was getting played into the night.
Too late.
And they wanted basically to create a curfew, and they tried to implement it, and it caused a little bit of an uproar in the
consternation.
streets.
Yeah. A bit of argy-bargy.
There was an argy-bargy on the streets of L.A. outside the Whiskey A Go-Go.
More than once.
So, do you want to give it a whirl?
Yeah, let's give it a shot here. See what happens. Nice and loose. Loosey-goosey.
It should be straightforward.
Should be. Famous last words.
Something happened in here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to beware. Think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right, everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance from behind. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. That sound, everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep into life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the man come and take you away. Time to stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Sorry, last note. That was the last note.
There's always a last
I'll
note.
give it to you.
There's always a last note somewhere. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us for another week as we slowly approach the Christmas times.
Ho, ho, ho. It's going to be slow as a train wreck. Barreling down the tracks at us.
We always appreciate you being here. If you would be so kind, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the videos. Go ahead and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when we launch a new video. Please tell your friends. We love your comments. We love getting your feedback. We love getting your song suggestions and just the general crack of the Tea with the Lads community.
Always fun. Always fun. Thank you very much for your support, everybody. And we hope you have a great week. See you again next time.
Cheers.
Cheers. And that's what's going down. Down, down.